Hi,
Hey, how you doing, Jeanette?
I'm good. How are you doing?
Oh, good. What would be helpful today?
Oh boy. Okay, so I think I just want to kind of get your input on what I'm currently doing and just kind of see if you can think of any holes or areas of opportunity for me. Is that
Okay, great. Yeah.
okay? Perfect. So, in terms of my mark, okay, let me start with this. Right now, I'm consistently seeing about 12 clients a week. I'm sorry, my product just got in my eye. I'm consistently seeing about 12 clients a week. I would like that to be 16 clients a week.
Okay.
That's my ideal number. Um, and for some reason, it just feels like it's so impossible to get there. I don't know why. Um, but what I'm doing is I'm posting to IG 2 times a week and LinkedIn. I have started SEO with someone who's been highly recommended for my practice. My website has been updated and is being optimized. My newsletter, I'm doing that kind of inconsistently, but I would say at least 2 times a month I'm sending out something for my newsletter. And then on top of that, I'm also networking and speaking, and I'm a part of some networking women's organizations.
Okay.
So
All right.
that's what I'm doing. Um,
So you're doing a lot.
okay.
I might scale back on some of it so that you
Okay.
can spend that energy going kind of deeper on the things you are doing.
Okay.
Um, let's see. Let's start here. Let's start with what your niche is. Oh yeah.
Yes.
Okay.
Over functioning perfectionists who struggle with burnout and depression.
Wonderful. Okay, cool. Nice and clear. I know exactly who that is. I know people in my mind. Um, okay. Which of these could you like drop and be kind of relieved?
Well, so I will say the SEO and the website, those are somebody else's
Mhm.
to handle. So I don't handle those at all. I just every month I think we sit down on a meeting and they tell me things and I just trust that they're doing what they're supposed to be doing.
Okay.
Um,
Did you write the
but
copy for your website?
what's that?
Did you write the copy for your website?
I did write the copy for my website. Yes.
Awesome. Okay. And when I say, I'm always talking about like 5 marketing strategies, I
Mhm.
expect some of those to be kind of like done and dusted, like website.
Yeah.
I
Yeah.
don't want you to be working on 5 constantly every week or month.
Right. Right.
Um,
So of those five, I would say the IG and LinkedIn newsletter and networking are kind of like the active ones
okay.
I'm doing.
How are people getting on your newsletter?
Great question. They can subscribe. I have one little freebie, which is just a perfect Are You a Perfectionist quiz. I post on IG and my stories about it, but that's about it.
Okay. And is your email list growing?
Slowly, but yes.
Okay. Has it yielded any clients yet?
No.
Okay. Um, what else do I want to know about your newsletter? When you're posting or you're sending out an email, maybe like twice a month, what are you talking about in those emails?
I'm bringing attention. So it's like three parts. Something that I posted on social media this week, something that is a resource on my website, and then a blurb that I've creatively written about a topic.
Got
So,
it. Okay.
mhm.
And are you blogging as a part of your SEO?
So I'm when you say blogging, I kind of am doing my newsletter in place of the blogging. So the blurb that I write, that is my blog. That I'm not going to do a newsletter and a blog. It feels overwhelming.
Yeah.
And so that all is on my website. Clients can or people can go to my website and subscribe to my newsletter to get access to the blog pieces that I've written.
Got it. Okay. I ask about that because all the SEO professionals I know basically require blog writing because it gives you additional pages that they then optimize.
Mhm. Mhm.
Um, and then because nobody's really searching like Allison Pereira about me,
Yeah.
right? might search how to not binge at Thanksgiving with my family.
Right.
And the blog posts allow us to like say the things that would just be like too much on our
Right.
website. Like our homepage would be 1,000 pages long.
Right.
So if somebody is doing your SEO, I would talk to them about blogging. I hear
Mhm.
you that you don't want to do it. So,
Mhm.
but I want you to talk to them about blogging so that there's understanding about what SEO work they're actually doing ongoingly.
Mhm.
Because if you've just got a handful of pages on your website, essentially, like that's a one and done kind of a deal.
Mhm.
Um,
Mhm. I know that right now that they're going into my website and they're optimizing the pages on my website right now. That's like the first round of what they're going to do.
got it.
Um, because as they put it, the parade is in Houston and I'm currently in a different state. I'm
Got it.
not in the parade yet. Yes. So they have some like foundational things that they need to take care of to even get me into parade. So
Got it. Okay. And they're probably going to be talking to you at some point about blogging, just
yeah.
the foundation now. That's the next step of that conversation. So I don't want you to do double the work, right? I don't
Okay.
want you to do the newsletter and the blog. I
Mhm.
would rather you do the blog and you can just copy paste that into your newsletter. Like
Okay.
it, but that way, if your blogging is optimized, and the hard thing about blogs, somebody actually just asked me this on social today. He said, like, are blogs even useful anymore? Like, does anybody, he said,
Yeah.
like, I see all these people like basically buying them or just copying, pasting things from like WebMD. Like, what's the point of blogging at this in this day and age? And
Mhm.
it's twofold. And they have to be good for it to do you any good. But like SEO, it's
Mhm.
good for, but then it's also good for like, if they're looking at somebody else and you, and they're trying to decide between the two of you, and you have a blog and the other person doesn't, it gives them a better opportunity to get to know your tone, who you are, how you work, what your ideal clients struggle with, because every single blog post is ideally geared towards the things your ideal clients actually would read and care about.
Okay.
Bad blog posts, like it's just a waste of time and money. Because it might bring people to your website, but if the blog post sucks, they're going to just think you suck,
Right.
right?
Right.
Um, so you can use your newsletter as a way to get the word out about that blog post. And you can also do that for like on Instagram and LinkedIn.
Mhm. Mhm.
So it's like repurposing that content essentially over and over.
Mhm. Okay.
Um, the 2 times a week on Instagram,
Mhm.
I don't know that you're going to get a lot of traction there.
You think it needs to be more times?
Yeah. And I'm curious, like, what are you posting? Are they reels? Are they still posts? Are they
Yeah.
carousel?
The majority of them are carousels. I am trying to, my new goal is one reel a week. So I'm going to try to do that. That feels very ambitious for me, just so you know.
Okay.
Um,
What is
um,
it about the reels that make them more ambitious than the carousels?
um, because as a recovering perfectionist, I want to make sure that I look a certain way, of course, for my brand. So there's effort that has to be put into that. And I think that's probably the biggest part. It's like, oh, I got to get ready. I got to
Yeah.
put clothes on.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah. So,
Well, and I wonder about like, let's make it easier. I mean, I could tell you all day long, like just get up there, makeup free, hair askew. It doesn't really matter, but
yeah.
and it doesn't matter to them, but it does matter to you. And I want you to feel
Yes.
good about what you're putting out there.
Yes.
Um, so what if like there's a day a week where it's like I get ready for the day morning and you
Mm,
go, you get yourself ready as if you're going to an office where you're going to see a bunch of
right.
people. And you just devote that one day to that, and you already know it's going to be Tuesday or whatever, and
Yes.
you do your reel that day because you already are made up.
Yeah. Yeah.
Um, And the perfectionism after that will probably sneak into your content, and you'll be like, I don't know if this content's good enough.
Yeah.
Now I feel cute enough to be on video, but like
Yeah.
it's sneaky perfectionism, right? So um I want you to put out good enough content.
Right. Right.
It doesn't have to be your best every time. It will improve as you get more used to it too.
Okay.
Um, but yeah, I mean, so reels are what bring people in. Like that's how you
Mhm.
build an audience. Carousels are really good for engaging an audience and having them
Mhm.
choose you. Um,
Mhm.
still posts aren't good for a whole lot. Um,
Mhm.
honestly. And then are you doing any stories?
I do post on my stories. Most of my stories are just like tidbits into my personal life. I find that my clients like that. They like to see pictures of my daughter and see things that we're doing and stuff like that. But or I bring attention to a new post or a new reel that I put on there. So
So a challenge, not for right now, but maybe at some point on a whatever day you choose, you do a get ready with me, where you're talking about perfectionism and how like it stopped you for a long time. And even just posting reels because you had to get ready. And so
mhm.
here you are getting ready with them because you've gotten over that hump.
Okay.
And you're still going to show up, done for reals, but you're kind of owning that this like you've made incredible progress with perfectionism yourself, but it still pops up in sneaky ways.
Yeah. Um, are you talking about a live? Is that what you mean?
I think you could just do it like a story. I mean, you could do a live if you had more to say about it. Um,
Okay.
like a minute long story. You're not going to be able to go deep um,
Right. Right.
on it, but I think like it's a great example of showing people that like perfectionism can still show up, but it doesn't dictate the choices you make.
Yeah.
And I think that can be really impactful for your ideal clients to see that, like, to see it in action, you know?
Like that. Okay. Okay.
Yeah. And like, I just want to make sure whatever you're putting your energy and effort into, you've already done a great job getting clients in the door, right? Like
Mhm.
you're plateaued, but it's not like you're plateaued at 2 clients.
Right. Right.
So what you've been doing has worked. Um,
Mhm.
it's just, do you know which of these things that you've been doing is what brought them in?
Right. So I would say the majority, so was at a group practice. Majority of them followed me.
Okay.
And then the new clients that I'm getting aren't from any of these things. The new clients I'm getting are from like directories, like Therapy for Black Girls or Black Female Therapist.
Okay,
Um,
great. We
so
also have listings on board. Okay. Um, and so you're getting these referrals from listings specifically for Black women or Black people.
mm,
Is that a part of your niche?
I don't specifically say over functioning Black women who struggle with perfectionism, but I would say the majority of my clients who find me are Black women who are over functioning, struggling with perfectionism.
Uh-huh. Do
So
you want your niche to be over functioning Black women?
no, because I enjoy working with over functioning white women and over functioning Native American women or whatever. So I would say I wouldn't want to niche down that far.
Okay, cool. Just wanted to ask, sometimes people feel like they're not allowed to get that niche and if they want to. But
Yeah, yeah.
so you've got your online listings are hopping. Your SEO will be at some point. Like it takes a minute and they're in the foundations right now. Your website is super niched.
Mm-hmm.
Your Instagram, it sounds like you're open to being more consistent with reels and posting maybe more than twice a week.
Yeah, tell me. So I recently got some feedback that my clients are probably not going to be on Instagram. They're more likely going to be on LinkedIn because when we think about overfunctioning perfectionists, we might be thinking about more professionals.
Mhm.
Um, I guess I struggle with the content that I make for Instagram transitioning to LinkedIn.
Mhm.
Sometimes it works and sometimes it doesn't.
Mhm.
What are your thoughts on that?
I don't know a single person who scrolls LinkedIn, but almost everyone I know scrolls Instagram.
Right, right,
So yeah, there are professionals on there, but they're probably only on LinkedIn if they're looking for a job right now.
right. Okay. Yeah.
So it may be I think too, thinking about Instagram is like, it's not just for our ideal clients, it's also for our ideal referral sources. And if
Mhm,
you become like the voice
mhm,
of overfunctioning perfectionists,
mhm.
breaking free from these shackles that they've been in, these patterns that have been like making their life so much harder and made them so hard on themselves,
Yeah,
then people start referring to you.
right,
You attract an audience that is like,
right,
yeah. So
right.
I think like thinking about the way you want to, and I also in to do Instagram right takes a lot of energy and effort. So I also want to make sure that that's energy and effort you want to put in,
Mhm.
because not everybody loves it.
I think I do wanna put it in, and I think I'm at this crossroad in my life where I kind of feel a little stuck in terms of, like, Jeanette, you either need to go all in or just you're gonna be kind of walking through the mud here. And so it's like, what is stopping me from going all in? And a part of me is like, do I have the energy to go all in? Will my balance be thrown off? It already feels like it's kind of thrown off. I don't know. Maybe I'm scared to go all. I think that's probably a big part of it, that I'm scared to go all in. Because I've recently defined like my 3 to 5 year goals that I want to accomplish.
Awesome.
And one of them is speaking on a large stage, such as Essence Fest, about mental health,
Mhm.
um, doing a call in podcast, not really calling in, but where listeners send in questions that they might have, and I respond to that. And then the other one is kind of like something with an app. I don't know whether it's a partnership or developing one, I'm not sure. And so with all of those are big goals that I have. And I know I need to scale back on that, but I do know it all starts with a presence. And so I think, yeah, I do have to go all in on Instagram. I just don't know. I don't know, Allison. I just don't know.
Right.
Do you hear what I'm saying?
I hear you. I hear you. And like, because your goals are what your goals are, I'm going to gently push
Yeah,
that like, yeah, you need to be on Instagram and you need to be following best practices on there to start to build that audience and that authority.
yeah,
If it was just private practice was your end
yeah,
all be all, I'd be like, take it or leave it, you know? But
yeah,
because you have these really big goals that are absolutely achievable in 3 to 5 years,
yeah,
then I want you to get yourself out there so that
yeah.
you can achieve them. The fear of putting yourself out there, oh,
I don't know what about that feels scary or something, but it always elicits this response, this
mhm.
emotional response. And so I think I don't talk about it to avoid this, but anyways, yeah,
Yeah. Is it the fear of success or is it the fear of failure?
I don't know. I have no idea. There's something there. I don't know what it is.
Okay.
I don't know. Yeah, I just know that this is the response that comes up when I get into it.
Mhm.
Yeah.
And it's sometimes that's just a sign that like you're stepping into a new level of greatness that you haven't stepped into before.
Hmm.
And I don't think it would be your goal if you didn't think yourself capable of it.
Hmm. Mhm.
And that can bring up a lot of stuff, especially for a perfectionist.
Mhm. Mhm.
Because having those kind of goals, you're opening yourself up to a lot of criticism.
Mhm.
And it's going to take a lot of the regulation that you have worked on throughout
Mhm.
your life to get to where you are now. You're going to
Mhm.
get to flex those muscles.
Mhm.
And there are also going to be times that are so full of elation and you cannot believe you just landed this gig. And
Mhm.
um, yeah, and it's going to be hard to stay grounded because you're so damn happy.
Yeah. Yeah.
So your goals invite in a lot of potential emotional variability. And it's just like their sign that they're giving you now.
Yeah.
Like here you are, living
Yeah.
a big life, living a big life, you know?
Yeah. Um, Speaking of which, a few months back, an editor from Essence magazine reached out to me to provide clinical insights for a piece that she was doing, and I did, and she it published. It was such a great piece, and she reached out to me yesterday again for more clinical insights. And I'm wondering if you have any ideas on like how I can really nurture this relationship to kind of propel it to whatever
Mhm.
comes from it.
Yeah. I mean, I think always getting back to her quickly,
Yes.
like within 12 hours, if possible, with the information asked, and
Yeah.
just saying, like, this is really fun for me. I'd
Yeah.
love to continue doing this. I'd love to be your go-to. So
Yeah.
please, like, don't hesitate to reach out.
Yeah.
And over the time, as you're this person's go-to, you end up developing that relationship and saying, like, I love the way you wrote that piece. Just wanted
Yeah.
to follow up. It was awesome.
Okay.
Uh, and over time, you may end up building like an actual friendship.
Yeah. Yeah.
Yeah. And to also like own that you are making this person's life 1,000 times easier by
Right.
providing insight for them so that they can get their article completed.
Right.
Uh, so you're
Yeah.
making their job and their life easier.
Yeah.
So yeah.
Okay.
And I'm imagining you on Therapy for Black Girls
Mhm.
podcast. Like there are so many different ways to get
Mhm.
your name out there and to
Yeah.
help establish you as an authority who is going
Yeah.
to do all of these amazing things.
Yeah.
Um, because a writer for Essence probably doesn't have the leverage to get you on that stage, but
Right.
you being a contributor frequently
Mhm.
helps Essence see in your resume or your CV
Yeah.
that you've already been devoted to them.
Right. Right. Absolutely. Okay.
Yeah. So Instagram, I would look at like your blog posts you're writing or your newsletters right now and
Mhm.
see like what can you shave little parts of and just do a reel about. Like your reels don't have
Mhm.
to be dancing or goofy, but to just like give hot takes, um,
Mhm.
develop real relationships,
Mhm.
see what it is that the people that you admire and you follow on Instagram, see what they're doing that you really resonate with
Yeah.
and try it on yourself.
Yeah. Absolutely. Okay.
Yeah. I'm so excited for you. Um, I know that it's a mixed bag inside you, but
Yeah.
from where I stand, I'm excited. Um,
Thank
yeah, yeah.
I appreciate the
So
time. Yeah.
absolutely. And maybe just drop your Instagram handle so anybody listening or watching can follow you. Can you do that for us?
Okay. Yes. Oh, you want me to say it?
Say it, yeah.
It's at Jenet Dove Counseling.
Okay.
Yeah.
And I'll put that in the show notes too to make it easy. Um, I think this is also for anybody listening or watching, like the benefit of doing a 3 to 5 year plan. Because if
Mhm.
you were just thinking about getting your practice from that 12 people to those 16 people, you might choose a different marketing strategy that then
Yeah.
pulls you farther away from what you really want in the future.
Right. Right.
Um, yeah. And it also speaks to like keeping that newsletter up in a way that like I might have been like, yeah, scratch it.
Right.
Oh,
Right. Exactly. Yeah.
Yeah, and I might drop LinkedIn, to be honest with you, just because
Okay.
like people aren't scrolling it, and you've got a lot on your plate. I don't want you to add too much more. I
Right.
want I want the things that you add, energy wise, like doing more Instagram to really pull in the people that you want,
Right.
um, with more ease.
Right. Right. Okay. That makes a lot of sense. Mm.
Yeah. Oh,
I appreciate this, Allison. Thank you so much.